Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fifth round of Season 18 in Division 3. We are here at Spa-Francorchamps for the Belgian Grand Prix. My name is Felix Bonn, and I'm joined by PC Woody.
Good evening.
We should be in for a good race once again. Spa, I think a track that we like quite a lot, of course. I think a track that is quite popular in Formula 1 in general, and it looks a bit cloudy. Could there maybe be some rain on the way? All dry. Okay, so the clouds lying to us, unfortunately.
Shame.
We've got a new driver in the league as well. Lucas has replaced Lanky at the Williams team alongside Mihai. Lanky, unfortunately, deciding to retire from league racing. He's not on the server. We'll see if he's around in some way at some point still. But at least for now, we won't be seeing him in Division 3 or 2. Outside of that, the grid is as we know it. No new faces on today's grid. Got a couple of guys who are still hopefully gonna make their way into the lobby throughout qualifying. There's one of them, Pix. Aussie should be on the way. And I'm not sure who else is missing now, I think. Honey's here, Marcelo's here, Viral and Valentine are here. Always an action wreck. Flavors and Bazooka are both in. Pix just joined. Lucas and Mihai, of course, we have. And then yeah, just Aussie now. So we should have 13 cars on the grid once Aussie and Pix have selected their car. Kuko once again, he's here to record the race for the stat sheet. The stat sheets start automatically now. Or they've automated something. I actually don't understand what they're doing, but they're automating something that they have to somehow record the race results for from in the game. And Kuko's supposed to be in the lobby to do that as a spectator, but for the second week in a row, he's messed it up and he's in the car now. I think last time he joined late and pressed the wrong option,
Great.
rather than spectating pressed ready and that put him in the car. This time he joined the second that we readied up and the game automatically put him in the car.
Well, then my guess is on Flavors or Bible.
Yeah, they do seem the favorites for today. I think Always is a driver to look out for as well, especially because
Pix after his
Pix has been in very good form. Yeah, last week in Baku. But I could see a lot of drivers really putting up a great result today. I think Spa is a track where, where a lot can happen. It's a very long track, of course. It also means you only have 22 laps. I think in terms of DRS trains, we'll be seeing a lot less of that than we do usually. Of course, Division 3, I think, not really. I've got that many of those anyway. I think around Vegas we had a bit of trains. But I don't think we'll be seeing any DRS trains really. At least not more than like 2 or 3 cars.
Yeah, passes in Sector 1 by 5 cents.
Well, that's a good start to this qualifying then. We've got Lucas down towards the final corner right now. And the first lap of the session. This is gonna be his first lap in F1 Total as well. We'll see where it stacks up compared to the rest of the field here in Division 3. That first lap is a 44.443. And I must admit, I have got zero clue what good times around Belgium are. Not for my level or Division 3 level. So we'll just have to wait and see. And a Viral puts in a 43.4, so pretty much exactly a second faster than Lucas just did.
Serious next.
And over the line for Marcelli, that's going to be a 44.3. A 10th ahead of Lucas, goes into second place for the moment. Up next, the Mercedes of Action Rig. Oh, no, like Mihai, 42.5. Almost a full second faster than Viral now. And Action Rig over the line with a 44.8. That puts him into 5th place. Up next, the McLaren of Harley, followed by the Red Bull of Jules Valentine. But Jules Valentine, I think, on a slow run here, he's at almost 2 minutes by now. Harley has run out of EIS deployment. Behind that, the Haas of Flavors Harley, all out of shape through the bus of chicane, and that would have cost him a lot of time. And down the line, that's still enough for P3. So honestly, with the mistake that he made in the final corner, P2 at least, and Flavors in the pit lane. Up next, we've got Owise. And after that, I think we're done for the moment. There's no one else who didn't put a lap in yet on a hot lap. And Owise goes second fastest, 43.303. Mihai looking very good here. 8/10 clear of anyone else. Owise, Viral, Harley, Marcelli, Lucas, Action Rig, all nowhere near him. We've got a couple of guys still for lap times. Pigs, Jules Valentine, Flavors, and Bazooka. So we'll have to wait and see where those guys go. Aussie as well now in the lobby and in control of his car. Which means we have got one more driver waiting for. Which is... Where do we? Maxi! Oh, is it? Oh, no, he's not racing today. Hold on. Aussie's in. Lucas and Mihai are in. Iwek is in. Flavors and Bazooka are in. Thomas is on question mark, so I guess he's not gonna come. Always an Action Rig are in. Viral and Jill are in. Marcelino in. Harley. Okay, we've got everyone. It's 12 car good. And Lucas has crashed out of the session, I think, in the pit entry. At least that's where his car stood on the track map.
Yeah. It's interesting. I know the pit entry is not that big, but probably turned in early?
I mean, you are in no rush during qualifying, so it is a bit of a avoidable mistake, I would say. Not the best way to end this first qualifying session in the Volatiles. But he's got a long race ahead of him. So that really shouldn't be the end of the world for him. But it's definitely a shame. I think he would have been hoping to do a bit better than that. Yeah, he's crashing the pit wall, he says.
Marcelli goes for second one on his tire. It was marginally faster.
Marginally slower after the middle sector. We'll see where he ends up.
Second one was faster.
At the end of the lap then. Currently sitting in 5th place. And he needs a big improvement, 4/10 he has got to Harley, and he's actually going back to the pit lane, so not an improvement, or nothing of improvement for him to think it's worth finishing the lap. Otherwise, 80,000 up after the first sector. Currently sitting in 2nd place on the front row of the grid, but quite far behind Mihai. Has anyone got the pace to match that lap time from Mihai, or is that going to be an early decision for pole position here around Belgium? Moment, Owise the only one on the hot lap, so we can fully focus on his lap here. Coming through P1 fully flat in non-EIS mode actually, which is an interesting strategy. As he seems to be switching from either none to overtake. Yeah, not using any medium.
Surprising. Like, I get it, you want to have all the ES now down the bus stop, but...
He's 3.5 steps down in the middle sector. So not a good lap at all so far. And now he's switching EIS to medium. I think he did on accident because he has so much EIS left. I think he messed up his EIS settings.
Second set of tires as well, so...
And he's going back to the pit lane here, always not improving on this lap. Also used to start the lap. Jules Valentine at the end of the first sector, a 30.8. Apparently that's purple, let's see. Mihai with a 30.4, so not quite. Bazooka also nearing the end of Sector 1 here on his first lap of... I think he didn't even go out early, at least I didn't see him. A 30.7 in the first sector, and he missed the apex a bit through Lecom. That's a crucial 10th or so lost there. But he's still got at least one more lap after this one. And even that is not the end of the world. A smaller mistake through there definitely can regain that throughout the rest of the lap. Viral on his second run as well now. Currently in third place, and he has gained almost a 10th, 98 thousandths through the first sector. And of course the first sector, I mean it's one corner at La Source, and all the way from there to the end of the first sector to Lecom, you're flat out. Of course you can gain or lose a little bit through a Rouge with a more ideal line, I would say. But the main thing is going to be that exit out of La Source, and that will decide your lap time all the way up the hill and all the way down towards Lecom, down that massive Camel Straight. Drills Valentine then around the final two corners, around the bus of chicane. DRS enabled, down to the line, use the last bit of overtaking he has available, and that's enough for 6th position. Exactly 2 thousandths separate him from Marcelio. That couldn't be much closer, and Lucas, of course, not far behind either. 44.334, 44.336, and then 44.443.
While is fastest in Sector 2, while Flavors goes fastest in Sector 1. As Blue goes 4th.
Flavor says at 30.5, the purple isn't real then, because Mihai did 30.4.
Well,
but Flavor's at least close to Mihai in the first sector, and of course, the first sector especially will be determined quite a bit by the wing levels. Viral, that's a 6/10 of Ruben, puts him into the front row, 42.825.
And that's where the free chance is Sector 1.
Bazooka's got into P4.
Yeah, those free chances are Sector 1. Oh, well.
So yeah, it could either be a difference in the way they use the ERS, that Mihai uses more there, or it's a difference in the wings. I think 3/10 has to be a ERS thing, or just a horrible exit of La Source for Viral. Otherwise, I mean, maybe if he has like 4 times the wing Mihai has, but that would be quite something. Pigs goes into 4th place, 43.7. And Flavors through the last corner as well, the last driver in this session now without a lap time. Has used the ERS deployment as he comes to the last corner. That's enough for a new fastest time of the session, 42.477. Flavors jumping all the way from the bottom of the field to the top. And that leaves Austin as the only driver currently on the hot lap, as he abandoned the one he was previously on and went for another one on the same set of tires, of course, massively up. And might get a bit of a tow up ahead from the McLaren of Harley. Down towards the final corner through Blanchimont here. And hopefully Harley will either get into the pit lane quickly or get out the way, so that he doesn't block Aussie through the last corner. There we go, Harley diving into the pit lane. Aussie through bus stop, a bit of a wobble there on the exit. And over the line, that's a 43.814, that's enough for 6th position. Just over a 10th away from Pix in 5th, just under a 10th away from Bazooka, behind him in 7th. Marcelio starting a new lap as well now, with almost 5 minutes to go. So he's probably got no more fresh tires after this, but maybe another cooldown lap that he can do after, if he has enough fuel for that, and then do another hot lap. Of course, on a track this long, doing a lap on used tires is going to be very much an issue. The amount of tire wear you get over the course of one lap. As Marcelio invalidates up the hill on the Rouge. A bit too far on the left hand side. As he reaches the top of the hill and the track. Not wide enough through there for him. Cuts the inside ever so slightly, and it's cost him the lap. So as we approach the end of the qualifying session, 3 minutes to go. Most drivers still in the pit lane. The first few back out on track now. Mihai, Bazooka, and Jules Valentine. Marcelio still on his way back, either to the pit lane or to start another lap. How much fuel has he got? Three laps of fuel, so he'll be fine. So he can do another one on this tire.
He has to. There's no time.
Yeah, if he goes into the pit lane now and tries to come back, I can't see the timer because he's causing yellow flag right now. So I'm not actually sure how much time we have left. I'm surprised that everyone is still in the pit lane. They're leaving it quite late then. Yeah, 2 minutes 25 now. Marcelio is going to start another lap here, so he's the first of this last batch of drivers doing laps. Few cars coming out the pit lane right ahead of him. Thankfully, he has just come out ahead of the big group. He's only got 2 Mercedes in front, both Owise and Action Rig. So hopefully they are aware that Marcelio is in the hot lap and not like everybody else behind them on an out lap as well. That's the next group of cars over the line now. That's Bazooka starting it up. Marcelio in the first sector with a 31.3. That's 31 thousandths lost compared to his previous best. Can go to Bazooka as well, see his first sector time. And after that we've got Mihai and then Jules Valentine. Of course, Bazooka currently in 7th, Mihai in 2nd place. It's a fairly close fight of pole right now between Flavors and Mihai. And for Bazooka, it's 3 thousandths lost in the first sector, so very, very close to his previous best. Mihai, 2 tenths up in the first sector, but his ERS already quite empty. 35% he has there. Jules Valentine, 22 thousandths up on his first sector. Let's go back to Marcelio as he's coming towards the end of sector 2. He's 1.5 tenths up here, which wouldn't be enough to get him in position, but it would get him a lot further away from Jules Valentine and maybe secure P9. And if he has a good final sector, I mean, he has a lot of ERS, he can now burn all the way down to Matsu bus stop. He might be getting a little bit close to the Mercedes up ahead, but I think he's just about far enough away not to get affected by dirty air through this last corner. And for Marcelio, what's it gonna be? How far up the grid can he go here? It looked a very clean bus stop. It's a 44.218, didn't gain time compared to his previous best in the last sector, and that means he stays in P9 for the moment at least.
44.0 in sector 2. Faster. That's fastest.
Bazooka to the line. He's got 1 more corner to go. And right behind him, Williams of Mihai. Mihai up by 2.5 tenths. Bazooka up by 2.5 tenths as well. Bazooka has 1 out of ERS as he comes to the final corner. He goes into 5th place, and Mihai right behind him is gonna take... Yes, pole position for the moment. Jules Valentine up next, currently 10th. Can he beat Marcelio to 9th? Can he go even further up the field? Yes, he can. That's P7. 5 tenths gain, half a second found right at the end of qualifying. We could have a bit of a wait now. The next car over the line is Action Rig, who's only just coming into P1. Currently in 12th and only 44.8. Always 1.5 tenths up in the first sector alone. Flavor slightly down on the first lap. Viral did not make the line in time. There's not another lap in. I think he even stayed. He just stayed in the pit lane. Didn't even go out. So no improvement coming from him. It's really only Flavors and Mihai. Maybe Owise, who is up significantly, almost 6 tenths. Gained from Mercedes man. But he needs a full second to beat Flavors to pole. Or beat Mihai to pole, sorry. Well, also Flavors. He needs to beat them both. So unless Owise has a major improvement in the final sector or someone else can pull a surprise out the back, this pole is going to be either Mihai or Flavors. Action Rig jumps into P10.
Owise stays 4th.
Did not even beat Viral in the end. Harley down towards the line here. Currently 9th. And he's going to go into 6th position, 43.1. Flavors, a 10th gain after middle sector. Is this enough to beat Mihai? Yes, it is! By 15 thousandths of a second. Aussie up by 2 tenths. And he's going to go into 7th place here on a 43.489. And with that, I think that's everyone done.
It's over.
Yep, everybody else on slow laps. It is going to be Flavors on pole position here in Belgium. 42.323 for the Haas driver. And Mihai ever so slightly behind, 42.338. Half a second gap to Pix in third place, 42.807. With Varel in fourth, 42.825, and always in fifth, 42.868. So close that fight for third place between those three drivers. Harley in sixth place, 43.148, with a 3/10 gap to Aussie behind in seventh. Bazooka about half a tenth behind that in eighth, on a 43.544. Jules Valentine in ninth, 43.794, with Action Rig around the other top 10, 43.985. Marcelio in the 144s, 0.218 in 11th, and finally Lucas in 12th, crashing out at the early phase of the qualifying with a crash into the pit entry wall, a 44.443. P13 you can ignore. Kuko is not supposed to be racing and he will just retire. He will, same as he did last week, just have an intentionally slow first lap, make sure he doesn't get in anyone's way, and then retire from the race. An all dry race then reported. Strategy is a fairly simple medium to hard. The soft tire not viable around here. The hard tire can definitely last a whole race if you needed to. So it's really a case of going for as long as you feel like on the mediums and then just cards to the end, no matter when that is. It can be lap 1, can be lap 15.
50 laps medium is a bit long, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going that long, you might as well go a lap or two longer so you can get soft.
medium soft, I guess, then.
Because the tire allocation for this track, actually, the hard is 2 steps harder than the medium. I think it's C... Oh... I actually don't know.
The hard.
But I do know the hard is 2 steps harder. It is C1, C3 and C4 around here. So yeah, the hard is a C1, the medium is C3, and the soft is C4. Ah, there we have it in the bottom right. I didn't even need to look it up.
That was my question. How long do we go for the medium? 7, 8, 10 laps? I
actually have got really no clue. I mean, yeah, the hard can go as long as you want it to, so really, I guess, whatever you feel like making an undercut, I think that's when you can go for the box. But I reckon most will go sort of around lap 7.
It's a bit because
late 8.
We know how strong
game says lap 9,
is.
so I guess somewhere around that range.
I'd reckon 7, 8, 7 to 9, because lap 10 is possible, but you should just lose too much time.
The thing is, the undercut, of course, is not really as powerful because the hard is so hard. It's not fast.
Anyway,
and of course lose the air as well. But for now, everyone's on the media. We'll have a straight fight in this first stint. It's 5 red lights, and it's lights out. And away we go. Here in Belgium, a slow start from everyone, it felt like, on the reaction time. But Flavors is going to keep the lead down towards turn 1. Mihai attacking to the outside line. And that's a Williams. That is Williams and Mercedes always locking the rears into the first corner and going in the wall. Complete and sort of crashing back one as well. That's Action Rig and Jules Valentine making contact coming out of the first corner. And it's a bit reminiscent of, well, not quite as bad, but the 1998 style, as so many cars crash at the first corner already. And Flavors under attack from Mihai up the hill and down the Camel Straight. Mihai now switching to the inside line for the corner complex. And he outbreaks the Haas driver on the inside and takes the lead of the race here. Mihai winning the start. Or at least winning the first lap for now. Of course, we still have half lap to go. Maybe down towards the bus of chicane. Flavors has a chance for the overtake. Or next lap on the DRS opens up. A hectic start. And now the drivers start to settle into a rhythm. Top 4 mostly unchanged. Just a swap between Mihai and Flavors. Always, of course, the spin on the first corner. I think he has wing damage as well. So a nightmare start for Mercedes. Both cars at the back and well off the field. Jules Valentine got the better end of the crash. He doesn't seem to have damage and he's still, at least in touching distance, the train ahead. Action Rig is quite far off that. And I hope, if both Mercedes cars have damage, I mean, Always has massive damage. Action Wreck has slight damage, so we might see both of them pit and have a double stack. I mean, the good news is they can make the end, but the bad news is they will be miles behind everybody else. So they could really use a safety car to bail them out of this one. And Mihai has almost already broken DRS. Flavor struggling to keep up with him at the moment. Viral fairly close behind Pix. The battle for third definitely looking fancy. Always in the pits. Cook retiring. Making sure it doesn't get in anyone's way exactly as it's supposed to be. The top 5 have broken away there. Harley could not stay in DRS. It's being overtaken with the DRS by Bazooka. So we have a train of Mihai, Flavors, Pix, Viral and Aussie currently controlling this race. As Bazooka and Harley are having a bit of a squabble. Harley looking back up the inside into Bruchel there. Sends it under braking. They bang wheels. And Harley has pulled ahead for the moment, but can he hold on to that? Bazooka is surely not going to give up that easily. It's Viral! In the gravel through No Name. And he drops all the way down to P10. How has that happened then? Did he just go over on his own? Has he had a crash with another driver? Either way, Viral with a lot of work to do.
I think he either lost the rear or went over the curb before No Name.
Doesn't look like he has damage though, so I think he well, can continue and fight his way back through the field. And we'll see how far up the field he can still go, of course. Pace-wise, he should be in that battle for the top 5. He's made his job a whole lot harder. He's stuck behind everybody, bar the 2 Mercedes. And the top 5 has turned into a top 4. Mihai, Flavors, Pix and Aussie. And Flavors fairly close behind Mihai here. Might be seeing a swap down the camera straight with the DRS enabled. At least you would think so with how close he is.
Drive against Bazooka and makes the stick. 2-1.
But he's very low in ERS. And that means Bazooka, with the amount of ERS he has, can almost certainly counter. Coming up the hill now. And Lucas already derating, and Bazooka, yeah, absolutely flies past the Williams. He's got nothing he can do about that.
And Flavors gets past Mihai. No, he doesn't.
And Bazooka might get 2 in 1 here, as he's also going for the move on Harley. Harley goes off the track and gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting.
Well, Lucas hits the brake of Bazooka.
And Lucas into the gravel as well, understeering, and that is going to allow Jules Valentine to fly up the inside. And Harley with that 3-second penalty for track limits now. As he did essentially skip the whole comms section, it looked like. He's going to have to give that back if he wants to put the penalty to be removed at the end, I reckon.
So, Lucas into the pits for the slip, I reckon.
Has he gotten any damage?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, big damage.
Because he hit Bazooka.
It's now the battle with Viral for the moment. Viral trying to get around him without losing too much time. He's already lost a full second to his teammate there. And now on the exit, of course, Lucas with that wing damage. A bit slow, difficult to predict where he's going to be. As he gets bottomed out on the curb. And Viral is going to go through and go up into 8th place. And yeah, Lucas surely has to pit this lap and get that wing changed. And that will mean he'll be locked in the battle with, well, Always mainly. The only other driver in this race who had to make a stop for a wing change. Although Lucas actually going to continue on with the damage.
What? That's interesting. Because he's, well, half of the front wing is missing.
Yeah, I would have thought for sure he has to pit. The top 4 a bit further spread out right now, all about 6/10 away from each other, so I don't think we're seeing any moves on the camera straight. Flavors 2 for back from Mihai, and of course everybody else has DRS to each other. Bazooka, this time, against Harley. I think he's got him, as he flies past in the straight.
Yeah,
no battle to the corner. And Harley has to settle in behind for 6th place. Almost bring the car. Just about catching it. A nice little drift through the com there. But certainly not good for your tire wear. And yeah, Lucas, of course, with the damaged front wing, can't get the pace that the guys ahead are showing right now. Flavors dipping a tire on the grass to Puon and immediately losing a 10 for 2. That could be the 10 for 2 that Mihai needs to break DRS to him. But Flavors has got a little bit more ERS, which he can use down towards Blanchimont and into the bus stop chicane. And I think that will be the saving grace for him here to make sure he stays within touching distance of Mihai and doesn't let him get away. Two Red Bulls on the hunt for the top 5 as well. Harley and Bazooka staying close together. Viral looking at DRS of his teammate Marcelio now with the move on Lucas, who is still almost completely out of ERS and with a damaged car can't pull up any sort of a fight here.
So 4 laps in, everyone has around 30%.
Tire wear?
So, yeah.
That's interesting that it's so equally matched. Lucas now into the pit lane. A lap later. He's gonna have to change the wing and get a fresh lot of hard tires that should begin to near the Grand Prix from here. And hopefully for him, that can still bring him some points. I think his main target here will be to beat the Mercedes Action Rig and All-Wise. As Flavors and Mihai having a battle over the lead of the Grand Prix. Flavors trying to switch back through Le Combe, it's not worked out whatsoever. Mihai pulls fully ahead. Flavors settling in behind. He knows, of course, he has got all the time in the world, really. He doesn't need to make an overtake on lap 5 of the race when there is 22 laps of them. And that make a camera straight. Yeah, it doesn't look like either Mihai or Flavors has got the pace to build a 1 second lead in 1 lap. And as long as he can't do that, the other driver will simply jet right up behind you once again with the DRS down towards the camel, over the camel straight, sorry, down towards Le Combe. And it seems to be a similar situation all the way down to 4th. Ocean Picks also, yeah, looking sort of comfortable in that position. Doesn't
Just
look like they have
watching the
to
race, I guess,
push
like
for all their might here.
staying within the second, that's enough. Saving the tires.
Yeah, there really is not much motivation. Especially for Flavors to make an overtake. I think more so for Pix and Aussie. They're just having a lot harder since the car ahead of him has DRS. But as long as he's second place, basically, you're staring at the back of P1, you can make the move on the last lap and it's going to give you the win. So if you can't break away anyway, you lose nothing by staying behind. If anything, you gain something by having the dirty air and being able to save your tires. And that is a very unnecessary 3-second penalty for Flavors. He's been following Mihai around all race so far. Picking up his 3rd warning on the top of a roof there, just going a bit too far on the inside. And that has made his job of winning this race a whole lot harder. He now also built a 3-second lead over everybody else.
Does he? Yeah.
Oh, Hardy with another big slide, and once again, a great save. But of course still, even the great save is going to cost you time, so he's going to want to avoid those, not even snaps, just, I don't know, sort of lazy oversteer moments where the car just sort of, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, just very slow oversteer, if that makes sense, you know. Jules Valentine now with a 3-second time penalty. Also receiving multiple track limit warnings, his one coming after Puon, I suppose?
I think it was in Puon, because the exit, well, the
yeah, but it was too. I think it must have been the exit of Puon, yeah, which is a weird place to get a warning, but I wouldn't know where else he would have gotten that. The trains from P5 and downwards are split as well. Bazooka out of the switch to Viral, who's out of the switch to Harley, and who's out of the switch to Jill Valentine. So everyone just about in their own little bubble from 5th to 8th. That can change fairly quickly, especially I think Viral is going to be hunting after Bazooka. And then it's a 5-second gap to the position where he was in earlier, to this battle for the race win. Mihai, I don't think he has enough ERS to make a move on Flavors now. But he doesn't need to, I mean, especially now, Mihai can sit here until the end of the race and win. He does not need to make an overtake on Flavors. Flavors has made Mihai's job a whole lot easier with that 3-second penalty. And all of a sudden, the fight for the race win, unless Flavors can build a 3-second gap, is going to be between Mihai, Pix, and Aussie. It has essentially disqualified Flavors from, well, anything more than the P4, unless one of these guys drops out of the DRS range. As long as they can just follow him around, they will beat him. That top 4 group is the only group on track right now battling. We've got Viral and Bazooka sort of hovering on that 1 second range. Keep an eye on that. I think eventually Viral will make the move on Bazooka. Harley and Jules Valentine are both falling back though from that group.
Mia has nearly 60 and Flavors 52, so maybe I could be in this lap or maybe next one.
And if you're gonna go for an undercut, I think you will go now on next lap. And Flavors is in. And so is Aussie. Pix and Mihai still out on track though. And of course Flavors pitting means Bazooka can't pit. Viral is gonna stay out as well though, not taking the opportunity for the undercut. And I think Flavors and Aussie might end up being the only ones, because Senya's not in either. Action is the last one now on this medium who could pit this lap. And it looks like he's also going to continue on, so yeah. Flavors and Aussie in on lap 7, the first ones and the only ones on the 7th lap of the race. And crucially, Flavors going to come out in a perfect position, I think, because he will get DRS on Marcelio and will make the overtake. Pix with the move on Mihai for the lead of the race here. As Mihai didn't have DRS, and Flavors now crucially will fly past Marcelio down the straight. Gets DRS of him, gains time of him as well. That pit exit was perfectly timed for Flavors, and now, on these very, very hard hards, can he make the undercut work? Or is it simply too early and the mediums have not worn enough to be slower than the hards by now? Of course, the hards will also struggle to get warmed up this early on. But I definitely think Pix and Mihai should respond as soon as possible. Because yeah, the only way they can lose this race to Mihai, as Viral and Bazooka make contact. Bazooka has been spun around, Viral going for a move into that fast right-left chicane and tapping the rear right tire of Bazooka with his front left. Bazooka with a great catch to keep the car pointing in the right direction. He's only lost about 2 seconds from that. And of course in position to Viral, but still he will not be happy. Let's see, Pix and Mihai, are they going to respond? Pix is going to keep staying out, Mihai is coming in this lap.
Oh, that's interesting. Fitting. Yes.
Viral is in, and so is Bazooka. And so is Harley. Jules Valentine staying out. Of course, Flamers now up behind him. So you have to try and pass him, ideally, over the Camel Straight. Marcelio is into the pit lane. And Flavors is going to come out significantly ahead of Mihai. And so is Aussie, they've gained so much time. As Aussie and Mihai are going to be side by side as they come out the pit lane. And Mihai will have the DRS. As Aussie is over slightly ahead. Jules Valentine now 7/10 clear of Flavors. Can Flavors make the move here? I think he's too far back, and that means he will be stuck behind him through the middle sector. That will give Mihai and Aussie the opportunity to close back in. They are currently 3 seconds back. That's exactly the gap that Flavors needs. But now with Jules Valentine on all the tires, right ahead of him, that will lose him time, and Mihai will close back in. Bazooka and Viral locked in the battle coming out the pit lane. Harley with another 3-second time penalty, and Viral has come out ahead in this battle. And the gap definitely coming down quickly. Jules Valentine goes a bit deep through Pro 1, and Flavors might try and take this opportunity on the exit. But no, he's gonna have to, keep staying behind, being patient here. Mihai has already gained a full second on him. This is so unlucky for Flavors that he caught Jules Valentine exactly the wrong moment. If he called him a little bit earlier, he would have been close enough to the DRS of the Camel Straight to make the overtake mistake. But he was ever so slightly too far back for that. And because of that, he's lost a full lap essentially.
He's still fighting.
But Jules Valentine isn't even fighting, he's just driving his own race. And Flavors now going for the move into the bus stop chicane.
Oh, does he?
Oh well, now Jules Valentine is definitely fighting, and they bang wheels, and Jules Valentine pulls into the pit lane, and he has helped Mihai so much with this, because Mihai was going to be 3 seconds behind and a 1 lap tire advantage on the tire that wears maybe like 2% an up, if that. It's just not that deep.
And Pix lost basically nothing. Yeah, sure, the position saucy, but he's a second away.
Yeah, this has really kept the train at the lead together. Jules Valentine being caught by Flavors at the worst possible moment. He's gonna come out the pit lane himself in P8 between Harley and Marcelio. Mihai is not in the S-range to Flavors, but he's not far off it. So if he has a good lap now, that fight for P1 on track definitely still open, and of course it will make it a lot easier for Mihai as well to defend, as he's got Aussie and Pix both behind him. Pix himself a bit further off the S-range, so he needs to get a move on as well here to stay with them guys ahead. He has a tire advantage on paper, but like I said, the tire wear around here is so minimal on these hard compound tires that these 1 or 2 laps he has over Mihai and Flavors and Aussie will not pay much of an effect as they would on other tracks. Even though it's such a long lap, so in theory 1 lap should be much more, but it just simply isn't around Belgium.
That was my question. Is Flavors clever enough to let Mihai get past him, use his DRS to get away from Aussie?
I think Flavor's still pushing to try and keep Mihai out of 1 second. Because he's used all his battery down towards the bus stop chicane, and he has kept Mihai out of DRS for now. The only question is that sustainable, or will Mihai eventually get towards him anyway?
All future will low.
Last lap from race from Flavors, immediately beat by Mihai. And Aussie is completely out of battery, trying to make sure he stays with Mihai somehow, but I think...
All 3 of them basically. Picked it at 30%.
Yeah, and all of them, I think, have missed all DRS to each other.
Yeah.
We've got Always, who's caught up to Lucas. Apologies. So a battle for 10th place on track here, but Lucas with track limit penalties has, of course, got a... well, fighting with 1 arm tied around his back here. As a track limit penalty will loosen the place anyway. Always not in the S range though, had a terrible accident off the first corner and that allowed Lucas to stay... keep him within, or keep him outside 1 second, sorry, for at least 1 more lap. Also, he's dropped back significantly from Mihai, falling into the clutches of Pix now. Mihai himself, now in range of Flavors. And I think if I'm Flavors here, I would sort of give up on the race win, let Mihai take it, and just be pulled along by him.
Yeah.
Because he can't beat Mihai. Mihai is not... Mihai is, if anything, a little bit faster than Flavors right now, and Flavors needs to build a 3-second gap to him. So what Flavors needs to do here is make sure he keeps P2, and the best way to do that is by, not battling Mihai, letting Mihai do his thing, and getting that 3-second gap behind, just focusing on getting the best lap times possible, really. Not allowing Aussie and Pix back into the fight. And I'm sure Mihai will also like that, as it guarantees him a win, and it guarantees Flavors a P2. So even though they are title rivals and rivals in general, I think in terms of mutual benefit, the best thing to do here is for them to work together. But I don't think Flavors will be doing that. He's burning EAS.
No.
I mean, the same thing does go for Mihai as well. I think the smart thing for both of them would be not to fight. And right now Mihai hasn't got the run, so he might stick behind.
Oh,
Or he's gonna go for the late send?
No.
Nah. Doesn't need to risk that. Pixon now caught up to Aussie. The battle for 3rd place definitely on. Bazooka still staying close to Viral.
Oh, why is it? Oh, Lucas gets... there's a touch on top of Rouge. Oh,
Neither of them have DRS
again.
somehow. They must have gone side by side through the detection point. So Always locks the front, goes straight on. And is stuck at P11 for another lap.
It looked weird, honestly.
And I think always must have damage because his car is
yeah,
not.
he has. Because he was on 12, who basically besides Lucas, and it looks like Lucas slipped left. And always went into the wall. Is Harley Valentine fährt again. And Harley has wing damage.
Actrink now with a time penalty for track limits, and Harley goes off into the gravel. Marcelio now with the run on him. We've got a battle as well for the lead, I think, forming up. Mihai is quite close behind Flavors. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Flavors got a lot more EIS though. And Mihai already below 10% as he comes up the hill. Marcelio has made the move on Harley into the bus stop, Harley into the pit lane. Looking to change that wing. And Mihai completely out of EIS. Is the DRS by itself enough?
Yes.
They are side by side in the background as well. Picks the move on Aussie.
Goes past. Yes.
And always with a DNF. I think he's in the pit lane. Yeah, he's in the pit lane.
Yeah, I know why.
That little battle between Mihai and Flavors has gotten picks back into the 3-second range of Flavors. Battle for 7, of course, going on as well. Jules Valentine and Marcelio fairly close together here. Jules Valentine does have some time penalties, 3 seconds to his name, which means he needs to try and gap Marcelio if anything. Which right now he's doing a good job of. He's got him almost outside 1 second. 8 tenths and growing right now. The battle for the lead. This time the other way around. Mihai leading from Flavors. Flavors has got a lot more EIS again. He's able to recharge a lot more through that middle sector. Mihai always coming into the DRS zones with basically no EIS. Whereas Flavors is recharging from
Another few seconds.
Very low percentages he hits, coming from the camera straight all the way to 70% every lap.
I hope he's doing the right thing now and just stays behind, because Mia is basically faster. But it doesn't look like it now.
Nope, he's gonna go for the move Flavors. DRS enabled,
Easily.
and he rockets past him. I mean, I think they are both fast, so it doesn't really matter who's ahead. The only thing they have to avoid is battling.
Exactly.
So as long as Flavors makes the move the way he just did, by just driving past in the DRS straight, that's perfect for him.
As well is closely going on.
Yeah, it's nowhere near enough. He needs a lot more. Because the gap was 5 seconds, I think, when they come out the pit lane. Now it's 4.6. It's a small gain, but
Well,
only 8 laps to go. He needs a lot more than that to get
DS
involved.
doesn't help from picks, so
Right, I'm gonna be back in a second. I need to get a drink. My throat is really sore. I'm gonna leave you on board with Flavors for the moment, since he's the race leader.
oh yeah.
Right, here I am, just in time for the DRS straight. But I think Mihai is too far back, really, to try to make an overtake anyway.
Yeah, 10% ES. That's too far.
I'm not sure why Mihai is not able to recharge EIS the way
I don't know.
Flavors is. I'd have to go a whole lap on board with Mihai, and I think there isn't anything else going on anyway, so I'm gonna just watch it. And tell you what he's doing wrong. And I am 3 corners in, I can tell you exactly what's wrong. You see at the bottom of your screen, the words have not changed.
Oh no.
It's still saying medium. Now if you go with flavors, I can it says none. Okay, medium.
Oh,
From here, medium is fine as well. But I reckon when we go into the left-right, that's gonna go to none. None. Mihai is on medium.
nothing.
And that's what the difference is. Flavors is being quite smart with it. The parts where he's not going flat out, the parts where it's very short straights anyway, and you don't lose anything by not having the full engine power. He's slapping it out to none,
Yeah,
and that means he reaches this straight with about 30 to 40% more.
Also, he's not harvesting anymore. Player still does.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. You shouldn't be on reduced harvesting already.
Makes a difference. Well, he's on reduced cause of the medium ES mode. On none you gain more. And lose less harvesting.
I mean, Flavors has got a physical penalty anyway, so it won't matter for Mihai. He can still comfortably stay with him. But yeah, the reason he can't overtake him is exactly that he's not switching the ES to none. Now he has. And now he hasn't. What? Is he on AI mode? He hasn't disconnected, has he? No, he's still here.
No.
Marcelio right in the gearbox of Jules Valentine here. Jules Valentine can't shake him. This battle for P7 will go down to the line, and of course means with Jules Valentine's penalty that Marcelio is gonna get that 7th position off him, most likely. Mia needs to be careful this lap. He's a bit further behind Flavors than he'd like to be. To keep that gap under control and stay within the second of Flavors, otherwise this race could become interesting again. At the moment, it's looking very much like a Mihai P1, Flavors P2. The gap to Pix is just about big enough, and I think it's
3.2.
growing every lap, ever so slightly. Flavors and Mihai definitely the paces of this race. Ryron, I think, maybe also a strong pace, but he cost himself really. Oh well, I don't know if he did, but I think he did. It's a weird place to crash into another car, if he did. So I think he just had a off on his own. And Mihai has been able to hold onto the ES range to Flavors. Flavors not as much of an ES advantage this time around. Himself only at about 60%, Mihai at about 40%. As we head for the first corner. Mihai is still too far back for an overtake. Still. Ossi has not got the ES to make a move on Pix either, so no changes in the battle for third. Marcelio though. Did you have a look at what Jules Valentine? I mean, he seems to lose a lot on these exits. Otherwise, I think he would have a great chance. But every time off the bus stop and out of the La Source, yeah, he loses so much time. About 2/10 on the slow speed exits. I think that's the difference maybe between... Is Marcelio on track control? I think he is, right?
As far as I know, yeah.
I think Jules Valentine might be on medium and Marcelio on full track control. And I think that is the difference that you see in those low speed corners. And I'm pretty sure Jules Valentine also has much lower wings because he just gained on him on the straight even though Marcelio had the ES on him.
So just saying, Mihai and Ostian are on 2 warnings.
Well, that would be quite something.
Right,
So he were to get a track penalty, especially Mihai. He would be throwing away a certain race win. And the gap from Pix to Flavors actually staying constant now. If anything, yeah, maybe slightly advanced to Pix over the last lap or two.
Well, tires.
So that this battle for second place between Pix and Flavors isn't over. But of course, the hope that Flavors can have is that Ossi will look to get that second or third place for himself. And that Ossi and Pix screw each other over in the battle for second. In the same vein, of course, Mihai could go try and go for a move for P1 and create a battle, and that would lose Flavors valuable tenths. So really, everyone involved in this top 4 right now needs to be very boring and avoid battling. I guess Mihai can afford some battling. I mean, the gap is fairly big now behind. As long as Pix isn't in DRS range, he's not a threat. And Ossi, I mean, he's so low in ERS constantly as well. And now gets a 3-second time penalty. And now Ossi also is in the spot that he can't allow himself to battle Pix because it's going to risk a 4th place against Rival, who's only 4.5 seconds back. With 4 laps still to go, Rival still has a chance to get within 3 seconds of Ossi.
And he has no warning, so he can push now. If the tires allows it.
Well, the tires shouldn't be a concern. I mean, the wear around here, as we said, on those hard tires is very minimal. With the battle for the final points paying position, Harley is in the chase of Action Rig.
Ossi has
The problem that Harley has is that
44.
9 seconds of penalties. He needs to pass Action Rig and build a 6-second gap, for which I don't think there's enough laps to go. Yeah, I had almost the same year as the Flamers now, only about a 10% difference. I'll make it 15. And he is a lot closer than I think previous laps, so maybe this could be the lap that he actually goes for the move on track. Pix is closing in more and more, though we're at 2.6 seconds right now from Flavors to Pix.
That's a tire difference.
So Flavors could be losing
50%.
crucial tenths and crucial seconds. And might end up losing that 2nd place to Pix in the end as well. But Mihai looks locked in for this race win. Would be a Herculean effort from Pix to catch back up to Mihai and pass him in these last 3 laps. Jules Valentine now fairly close behind... Oh sorry, Masino fairly close to Jules Valentine. But Jules Valentine, yeah, has got
5/10.
way less wing on the car. He is gaining so much down the straight. And that's why Marcelio is so badly stuck here, he just can't make an overtake work.
320... no.
Yeah, Marcelio only starts to gain like 500 meters for the corner. Until then, Jules Valentine is has got more speed. But both of them, I mean, in a complete island of their own. I mean, the gap ahead for Mazuka 18 seconds, the gap behind to Lucas 15 seconds. So they really couldn't be much more on their own. And with Jules Valentine, of course, having track limit penalty over his head, Marcelio, I think, is not even any rush to make a move. Because there's no threat behind, there's no chance of overtaking the cars ahead. So just driving the car home behind Jules Valentine will give him the P7, and there's nothing more or less really possible right now. Pix lost some time this lap. Flamer's gotten the gap back up to 3 seconds. I think he's once again safe from being overtaken by Mihai. As Mihai has not got enough ERS charge and he's a bit too far back. If he was a 10th closer and had 10% more ERS, I would say it's possible, but... I mean, I'm not sure Mihai even really wants to. He doesn't seem that desperate to make a move on Flavors. He seems happy to keep this P2, because he has no reason to make the move.
The fastest from the 5 Rival out last lap. So he's pushing towards that P4.
Rival at 3.5 seconds now. Yeah, that gap has, well, it was 4.5 I think 2 laps ago. So he's gained half a second every lap to Ossi. Do that for the next 3 laps we still have to go. Well, 2 laps, 2.5. And that gap is going to come down well below 3 seconds. And as soon as Ossi lost that DRS range to Pix, his pace sort of collapsed a bit.
The first sector alone is 7/10 slower than Rival this lap.
We've got Harley. He is very close to McMaction right now. He's in the DRS range, but is a bit too far back this lap. Either has to go for a move through the middle sector or wait until the next lap, and then, yeah, that gap he needs to build of 6 seconds, I think, is a bit too much for only 2 laps of racing.
I mean, it's possible if actually is a punchline, but he isn't.
Yeah,
So.
actually tires are not that bad. I mean, Harley has a tire advantage of 4 laps, but that is certainly
You
not
don't
a
get
3-second tire advantage, so...
2 seconds in 2 laps, or like, maybe on the fresh soft snow, but not on old hard.
And once again, Mihai a bit too far back from Flavors. We won't be seeing a lead for the lead this lap around.
Yes, why
The gap to Pix right now is over 3 seconds. Marcelio is close to Jules Valentine, but as we saw in the last lap, Jules Valentine gaining a lot on the exit. He's got a lot more ERS charge, he's got the lower wings. There's no move happening here either.
I watched the speed for Valentine now, just so.
He's at he's essentially at the same speed into a Rouge, even though Marcelio has a 61 on him.
31, 42.
Yeah, Marcelio is now hitting the same speed as Jules Valentine. Which is way too late if you want to make an overtake. He has got so much wing on the car. Because I wouldn't even say Jules Valentine necessarily has, like, low wings, because I don't think it's possible to have, like, unusually low wings for Spa, because 0-0 is a genuine meta around here, and you can't go lower than that. Harley now with the move on Axbrick, and they make contact. Axbrick is off. Under braking. Harley and Axbrick come together, and I don't want to pass judgment on that. That was too quick to judge, really. But as I said, I would say on first glance, I don't think Axbrick had any more space onto that on the left, but that's certainly going to need to be reviewed. And that, well, for the moment at least, does give Harley the final points paying position, both on track and on penalties. As we head the last lap of the race. Is Mihai going to try and get that race win on track? Or will he just drive it home? I don't think he has a chance, really. He's too far back from Flavors. So now, let's open the gap to the leader. We've got 3.1 from Flavors to Pix. The battle for second place very much on. Viral has got Aussie as it stands. Aussie would need a great final lap to get Viral back outside 3 seconds.
Yeah. Aussie is losing too much in sector 1 already. 7 tenths lost.
And the gap that I'm mainly looking at is Pix to Flavors, because that is so close. Just over 3 seconds right now. And if Pix has a good last half a lap, that P2 could still be his. A time trial battle this is between the two. Between Flavors and Pix, and right now Pix is barely close enough. But Flavors has got a lot more ERS charge, which he can use down this last straight, down towards Blanchimont. And that could be crucial tenths, crucial thousands even. That's how close it is here. Can Flavors get that gap back up to 3 seconds? He's gonna burn everything he has down towards the bus stop.
Using overtake.
Pix is out of ERS charge, and that has allowed Flavors outside 3 seconds for the moment.
He even
Flavors goes to the last corners. Mihai will be your race winner. He's driven a great race. Very good pace and kept it penalty free crucially, and Flavors goes over the line. Mihai wins the race, and Flavors has kept second place in the end. Aussie brings the car home in 4th over the line, but loses it to Viral. Viral recovering the 4th, Aussie in 5th, Bazooka in the end, finishing in 6th place. And now we wait for Jules Valentine, who will finish in 7th on track, but 8th after the penalties is applied. And Marcelio will take that 7th place off the Red Bull man. As they head from the last 2 corners, Jules Valentine with 3 seconds of penalties. And has a moment as well, and all of a sudden Marcelio might even get him on track. They are side by side over the line. Jules Valentine stayed ahead, but the penalty makes it not matter whatsoever. That would have been 20 thousandths if Jules Valentine didn't have a penalty. Jesus Christ. That sure would have been exciting. Lucas, on his F1 Total debut, coming over the line to score some points. 2 points to be exact, and he really scores the line. He's clearly happy with that. Harley brings home a point from McLaren as well, as he comes around the final corner, but that could go down to Stewart with the last lap incident he had with Action Rick, who comes across the line to be 11th in this race. And that concludes the Belgian Grand Prix in Division 3. Here we have our podium. Congratulations to Mihai on another race win in Division 3. Another race win? He's won one, right? I have no idea who's been winning the last few weeks. I've forgotten everything. And with that, Mihai takes the championship lead off Viral. Before this race, Viral on 61, Mihai on 55. So Mihai, our new championship leader. Edwin in third, not racing today. Flavors in fourth. With that second place, has brought himself a whole lot closer. He himself now on 61 points. So Mihai on 80. Flavors on 61, and Viral was on 61. He finished fourth, so he's now got 73. So the main three contenders seem to be Viral, Flavors, and Mihai, and we'll see throughout the season how that develops. Of course, the points gap to the likes of Ossi, to the likes of Edwin, Maxi, always as well. Not that big. Definitely possible that they get involved. Didn't get the race results on screen, unfortunately, but someone must have gotten them, so it's fine. Yeah. Anything left to say from your side?
Honestly, no. Just the last two laps. Why was pushing like mad? You could see it. Like, if that mistake wasn't there on the first two laps, he probably would have gotten P4 still, but maybe P3. Also, last lap from Flavors was, I kind of guess, amazing. Like, he actually pulled a second out of Mihai. Like, wait, if he had it in it, do it full time for the last few laps.
I think the only reason he got that big gap at the end was because he got to burn all that EIS through Belgium to the bus stop. But if he does that on a normal lap, the next lap he has nothing for the camel straight. So I think I don't think he had that in him every lap, you know.
Yeah, but it's always the last lap where this happens.
Yeah, maybe he should have tried at least one lap to get me out of the EIS range where he really pushes that EIS through Belgium. Maybe he had a chance to win still, but it's always easier to say in hindsight. I mean, the easiest way to do to keep that race win would have been to just not get that penalty. But well, I think Flavors can be happy with that second place. Of course, it's some points lost to Mihai, but points gained on everyone else in the title fight, and it's such a long season that racking up those P2s will definitely, I mean, if there's one man who can tell you that racking up P2s and P3s can get you a title fight, it's me. That's my specialty. So yeah, that is what Flavors needs to do to stay in the title fight. Of course, some wins would not hurt.
Stay consistent.
You get more points for that, actually, in case you didn't know. But yeah, it was another good race. We've got the Belgian Grand Prix in Division 2 tomorrow, and in Division 1 on Saturday. And then we've got one more race week next week before the Christmas break, the Singapore Grand Prix. I hope you're excited for that one. I certainly am. My favorite track on the game.
You always are.
Of course I am. I love Singapore. It's the best track ever built.
And I will love it.
Yeah. Well, with that, I will release you into your evening. Thank you very much, Steve, for joining me. Thank you very much to the drivers for turning up for the race, putting on a show. Yeah, hope you all enjoyed that. Hope you have a good evening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.